Culion, an island almost forgotten, quietly lies along the outskirts of Palawan. Known for its intriguing past, only a handful of curious travelers have yet ventured out to explore the enigmatic island. Now emerging from the shadows of history, Culion marks its place on the map as the last of the last frontiers in the Philippines. Having been left untouched for centuries, it has quietly flourished, making it an ecological gold mine just waiting to be discovered. Culion is located in the Calamian group of islands in northern Palawan. Neighboring Coron, it is accessible from Manila by a 40-minute flight through the Busuanga Airport and another hour boat ride from the Coron Pier. Approaching the island of Culion, remnants of its past are immediately in sight as the stone-set Aguila peers out from its forested mountainsides. The White Eagle, the seal of the Philippine Health Services, is a bold reminder of the hope, triumph, and newly found freedom that indelibly marks Culion's history. In the early 1900s, when the Philippines was a Commonwealth under American rule, leprosy was rampant in the country. In an attempt to control this national health crisis, the government isolated all people infected with the disease. Chosen for its remote location, Culion was established as a segregation colony for lepers. Abolished in the 1970s with the eradication of the disease, a tour through the former colony traces the remnants of Culion's story through the ages. The century-old trees scattered along the narrow, winding paths of the town silently speak of the ancestry of the island, as it was originally inhabited by the Tagbanwa tribe's people, who tended the flora that now flourishes on it. The 17th century Coral Stone Culion Church and Fort tell of colonial times where even a rare and intact Spanish seal can still be found above the entrance of the Immaculate Conception Parish. Ancient houses and buildings have outlived their former functions and now stand as concrete reminders of the island's legacy. A town shrouded with nostalgia, much of its history still lives on. And while leprosy has been eliminated, generations of the lineage have carried on, building a new life, the new phase of Culion.
I am the chief of the sanitarium of Culion Sanitarium and General Hospital for the last 2 years. I was born here in Culion, raised here, studied here, and came back after finishing my doctorate in medicines and start working on the control and research for the treatment and eliminations of leprosy as a public health problem. The control of leprosy is the turnaround of all its development, because with its control goes also the transformations of the many sectors in the community. I always refer this transformation as a paradise regained. The segregation status of Culion has had a positive advantage of preserving our natural resources.
Indeed, the years of seclusion saved Culion from mass tourism, making it one of the least explored frontiers of Palawan. From the gentle green slopes of Pulanglupa, panoramic views overlooking the Calamian Islands unveils a beauty at rest. Comprised of 41 islands, Culion offers a myriad of options for beach hopping, snorkeling, and scuba diving. Beachcombers will enjoy basking on the white sands of Dipalian, Ditaytayan, Magkapuya, and Banana Island, where minimal structures allow for an unobstructed view of Culion's beachscape. While cruising through the islands, snippets of the local livelihood are seen. Pearl farms and seaweed plantations are scattered across the seas. The calm, undisturbed waters of Culion create ideal conditions for cultivating these delicate crops. Although pearls are not the only treasures in the waters of Culion. Below the surface lie forests of coral reef encircling the islands, making it a coveted diving and snorkeling paradise. Just 10 minutes away from the Culion Pier lies the crowning glory reef, reigning as the queen of coral reefs on the islands. Reaching towards the surface, capturing streaks of sunlight reflected by the swaying waters, the vibrant reef life glows with regal glory. Elegantly stretched across 5 square kilometers underwater, snorkelers can enjoy hours of exploring this endless, neon-colored seascape of coral and fish. Also hidden beneath the waters of Culion lie a handful of hauntingly beautiful relics, the shipwrecks of Lusong Island, just 45 minutes away from the pier. Shot down by U.S. forces in World War II, these Japanese vessels rest silently in the watery depths. The solemn shipwrecks have become the site of mysterious wreck reefs where brightly colored marine life have made their home on the sleeping steel monsters. A sunken Japanese gunboat that lies only 15 feet below the surface makes it easier for novice divers and snorkelers to explore the site without the need of complex dive equipment or wreck diving certificates. Both beneath the sea and above, Culion overflows with resplendence. Tucked within the forested island of Balanga are a pair of waterfalls. An easy 10-minute walk through a rural town takes you to the bubbling creek with the mini falls. Another 10-minute walk through a bamboo corridor and twisted tree roots leads to a hideaway by the bigger falls. Framed by bamboo structures, one can spend an entire day relaxing by the water in the cool shade of the overgrown trees. Back on the main island of Culion, a 20-minute drive from the town center leads to the village of Kabulihan. On the gently sloping green landscapes hugged by the river is a quiet farm resort owned by Dr. Paul Evangelista.
Nakita ko po ng kahalagahan ng pag-unlad ng aming bayan dahil itong aming bayan dati ay isang reserba. Ang tawag namin doon na Island of the Living Dead dahil sa paggagamot ng mga may karamdaman. At ngayon ay ang paradise regain na nakikita namin ang pag-unlad sa pamamagitan ng mga development. Kaya napag-isipan ko rin ito sa aking lugar dito sa Kabulihan dahil may water source kami dito na dinevelop ko ito sa magitan ng livestock muna. Tapos nakita ko ang potential na maging resort itong aking lugar na ginawa kong ganito para maka-attract pa ng mga tao na magbisita dito at maka-attract din ng mga investors, and then we can have sabihin natin na merong hanap buhay ang mga tao dito sa Culion. Kaya yun po ang aming direksyon ngayon sa aming lugar ng Culion.
The true highlight of Kabulihan is its expanse of mangroves that envelop the island. An hour-long cruise in a tree-carved canoe, locally called Alanday, ventures into dense mangrove forest. Towering 20 feet into the sky like fortress walls, these gigantic mangroves surpass the average height of these typically twisted root trees. Left alone for generations to grow, this vast mangrove treasure is a testament to the virginal, untouched beauty that defines Culion. endemic to the island is the endangered pitogo plant, scientifically known as a Cycas wadei. Often used as an ornamental, it is also valued for its potential medicinal properties, spurring local initiatives to protect and preserve it. Addressing environmental concerns, the students of the Loyola College of Culion spearheaded an environmental awareness campaign through a weekly coastal cleanup program. Building their own handmade rafts out of recycled materials, the young volunteers scour the shorelines of Culion, collecting trash that has accumulated along the coasts. As an ecotourism destination, socio-economic opportunities arise from the community through the recently opened Hotel Maya, considered to be the first and only ecotourism social enterprise hotel in the country. Overlooking the bay, the Hotel Maya offers a cozy, home-style accommodation. Simple, comfortable rooms are named after the islands of Culion, highlighting the local treasures that are waiting to be explored and hinting that soon enough, one will feel right at home in these islands. The Hotel Maya staff welcome visitors with a quintessential Culion hospitality, defined by a genuine warmth and friendliness. And nothing is more welcoming than being served a spread of deliciously cooked local dishes. Quietly perched on a hill, the hotel is just walking distance from all the essential establishments in town. Hotel Maya is a part of the Ateneo Loyola Hostel project, which aims to raise funds to support the Loyola College of Culion.
One of the primary purposes of the hotel is to save the school. In the process, however, we realized that the hotel is not just promoting the hotel per se, nor the school at that, but that the hotel is really promoting Culion, that was marginalized for more than a century, Culion that has been oppressed, isolated. And so what happens is that when a guest comes here and checks in, the money spent goes to scholarship, it goes to education. I believe we are one of the very few in the world ecotourism social enterprise hotel where we try to advocate for environmental conservation, and at the same time it is a social enterprise where the profit is shared with the community. Part of the program we are implementing to be faithful to the tagline, Palawan's Last Frontier for Meaningful Journeys, is that we are offering what we call the ISLA CULION field trip. And field trip is an acronym for Formation for Indigenous People Solidarity, E for Ecotourism, L for Livelihood through Social Enterprises, and D for Divinization through the Spiritual Exercises. The trip is an acronym for training, reflection, immersion, and praxis. So for example, for Indigenous people, Solidarity, we invite the guests to join the Jesuit missionaries who go island hopping for masses. So we go to different islands. We have 41 islands and we have 51 chapels, more than 50 communities. So we go to them, celebrate Mass with them, and the guests can join us and commune, not just with nature, but commune with the real community, the indigenous people. And then for E, the ecotourism, we want to be able to show them the beauty of the underwater world, the forest of corals, the shipwrecks, the history, all of that, and at the same time contribute to the conservation of such. And then livelihood through social enterprise. I'm an advocate of social entrepreneurship. I think one of the magical formula for development that has been discovered in recent years is social entrepreneurship, where we combine business acumen and developmental tools. And then finally, D, divinization, because we also want people to just quiet down, to behold the divine. It's a spiritual experience to actually commune with your personal divine.
Working with Father Javi are a team of volunteers who have joined the mission to help bring Culion out of the shadows of its past and into a bright future as one of the country's few eco-volunteerism destinations in the country.
I'm here as a volunteer. Specifically, my task is tourist development and community organizing. I think as the history of Culion is very special in a way that it was secluded for 100 years, it was forgotten, it was left aside, and right now you have these people who are really hungry for something new, for a change, for progress, and us being here, it's very special because you're contributing to that, and people see the value in what you want for them. They also are very much appreciative of what you're doing to help them. That's why we're using the term meaningful journeys, because it's a journey you share with the people, you share with the island. You just don't go here and say, oh, ang ganda-ganda, but actually say, I want to be part of preserving this beauty, of contributing to make it even more beautiful.
Beyond preserving the environment and reviving the local community, initiatives are also being made to protect the cultural integrity of the original inhabitants of the island, the Tagbanwa. In the southern region of Culion lies the village of Carabao, a 10,000-hectare protected ancestral domain for indigenous people. Also known as the lumber camp, as it was previously a logging site, the areas of refuge for displaced Tagbanwas. Authored by Francisco Espina, it is the first government-ordained indigenous persons community in the Philippines.
Ang kasalukuyan, mayroon po tayong i-address ng ancestral land claim nila. Mahalaga po ito dahil naniniwala tayo dahil ito magmumula ang kalayaan kung mayroon. Sa 14 na barangay, ang Barangay Carabao sa kasalukuyan ay mayroong 10,000 hectares. Ito po ay magiging refuge o lugar para sa kanilang mga anak sa darating ng panahon na magkaroon po sila ng lupa. Ang nire-reserva po namin ang aming mga kalupaan dito sa mga minority rin po na gustong pumunta dito.
At the lumber camp, the Tagbanwa can live without fear of being forced out of their own land and are given an opportunity to cope with balancing their traditional practices while adjusting to modern living. Educational and immersion programs have also been implemented to continue helping the Tagbanwa people develop their livelihood. Classrooms have been built for elementary and high school students. Volunteers come weekly to teach the children and even help the adults study basic reading and writing. As part of the cultural preservation and appreciation initiatives, volunteers also have the option of participating in an immersion program where they may live with a Tagbanwa family for a number of days to learn and experience their way of life. Many of the Tagbanos still prefer to live in their old-fashioned ways, but now they have the opportunity to do so while starting a new life as an integrated and contributing part of the community at large. The last frontier for meaningful journeys. Culion offers an experience where weather-beaten land and seascapes unravel hidden spots to explore. A beauty that goes beyond the surface and springs forth from the very heart and soul of a healing community. An island once forgotten, forsaken, and feared. Culion finds itself at the forefront of the Philippines' first eco-volunteerism destinations, with social and economically driven programs aimed at preserving both their ecological wealth and cultural heritage. Commune, create, contemplate, and celebrate. This is the Isla Culion experience.